Hey folks, so we wanted to make a video so that we could explain the changes to the FTVP program and how they're going to impact those of you who are current students in the program. Now, hopefully you made it to the program meeting and you heard at least the preliminary part of this conversation, but maybe you didn't quite understand it or maybe you weren't able to make it. So this video is hopefully going to help clarify that. So what we're going to talk about today is, first thing, is this going to mess things up for me? Because I know that's what some folks are thinking about. The next thing is, why is the program changing? What's wrong with the program that it needs to change? What are the specifics of the changes? And of course, I guess the most important thing, right, is how do I know if I want to change? And then, of course, how do I navigate these changes? How do I navigate the new classes? So let's get into it. First, the most important thing, nothing has to change for you. So here's the deal. When you came to Webster University and signed up as a film, television, and video production major, you made a contract with us. And that contract says that we have to teach you the program that you signed up for or create at least adequate courses that would cover the courses that you signed up for. And we have a teach out plan. We can cover every course in the major that you're in. You don't have to do anything. You can choose to do something if you want, and we'll talk about that in a little while, but it doesn't have any impact on you necessarily unless you want it to. So no worries, no anxiety. You're going to work with us, work with your advisor, work with the faculty, and make decisions about what's right for you as you go forward. So that's the most important thing. If you don't remember anything else, remember that. And also remember, you can come talk to any one of us anytime and get more information. Okay? Next, why is it that the program's changing? What's wrong with the program? Well, nothing's wrong with the program. We're turning out outstanding graduates just like you every single year. But what we've noticed since the program was conceived back in 2015 and enacted in 2016 is that there are some places where maybe people would benefit from having more information or more kinds of study or rejigger how things work. So we're not massively overhauling the program. We think the program works quite well. We're just kind of tinkering with where things happen in the program. So don't think of it as being there's something wrong with the program, because we don't think so. And the evidence that we're seeing from you folks is that we are constantly surprised by how good so many of you are. You're clearly learning important information, and there is nothing wrong with the program's foundation. We just want to move a few things around to make it easier for some folks, to give some folks a better foundation, make sure that they get some more information, and also to make it a little bit more editable or more easy for them to sculpt to their own needs. Here are the specifics of the changes. So over here you've got the current program, and over here you've got the brand new program. And what's changed? Well, basically the original FTVP 11, 12, and 1300 classes, which used to be freshman classes and were taken by everybody in their first year, even their first semester, are now moved to the 2000 level. And instead we have an FTVP 1000 class, right? Oops, I'm under the wrong class. An FTVP 1000 class, which somehow isn't on this list, but it should be. There's an FTVP 1000 class that somehow didn't make it to this list. But that is the class that basically is going to stand in front of all of these classes. And then students are also going to take all the classes that they've taken in the past. You're still going to take audio production for non-majors, film and television appreciation, but we are adding a requirement for a basic script writing class. Now, if you're currently in the program but have already finished those things or some of these things but still want to switch, we have a teach out plan for that, and we have a way to switch you over to where you won't lose any time or any credit. You'll also notice that there's no longer a requirement for you to take one of these 2000 level advanced classes. The advanced classes still exist, and you can choose to do one or more of them, but they're skills classes now down in the skills electives. You also see that we no longer have the 3000 level classes. I used to call those personal authorship classes. Instead, now instead of these three classes, which is experimental, documentary, or narrative filmmaking, there is a single story lab requirement at the 3000 level. So what does that mean? Well, it means that experimental and documentary are going to continue to exist, but we're taking narrative filmmaking away. And we're adding Story Lab because in Story Lab, you can tell whatever kind of story you want. You can come in there and make a documentary film or 2 short narratives or a YouTube video or a YouTube show or a commercial. It's up to you to pitch concepts in that. It's also for you to be able to build your skills in there. So not only will you be able to author a project, but you'll be able to work on your camera work, your lighting, your editing, your motion graphics, whatever skills you want to work on. It's a laboratory to help you build your storytelling capabilities. You'll also notice that Production House now is an and/or class, so you can take either Production House or Pre-Production Capstone, and we'll get to what that means in a minute. Professional development for FTVP 4000 is no longer being offered. It's going to be moved up into the Professional Development for Media Careers class up here. And then the biggest change probably is in the past there was an internship or senior overview. Now the internship is down in the skills section. So we highly encourage everybody to do an internship, but we're not requiring it anymore as an or. So you can't get away with doing either an overview or an internship. You're going to have to do a culminating course. And that culminating course is going to be up to you to kind of decide which way you want to go. Do you want to be a writer-director of narrative and documentary films? And is that how you want to finish your time here? Or do you want to be a cinematographer, an editor, motion graphics artist, visual effects artist, a gaffer? Maybe you want to work on the creative side, but you want to work in branded content, YouTube, production houses, corporate video, commercials. All of those are going to put you on track A, which is basically you're going to take Production House, which is right here, and then you're going to the next semester take Senior Capstone A. So that's if you want to work on branded content, be a cinematographer, be an editor, be a motion graphics artist. If you want to instead be a writer-director specifically of narrative or documentary films, you're going to take Pre-Production Capstone, and then the following semester you'll take your Senior Capstone B. But one thing that you should be really aware of is that if you want to do any of those classes in addition, you can still pick one that you do as a requirement and do either of the other 2 classes as skills courses. So hopefully that gives you some sense of the differences between the old program, or I should say the current program, and what it's going to change into starting next year. How do you decide which program is right for you? Well, this is really critical. And the answer is you should work with one of us. You should come to your advisor. You should come to a member of the faculty. If you can't find your advisor, and you should talk through it with us. We'll take a look at your degree audit, and we'll try to figure out what makes the most sense for you. But again, be clear, you don't have to do anything. But for some of you, it might be beneficial to switch into the new program. And I'll mention this, even if you stay with the old program, you're still going to be able to take advantage of the new courses. So if you decide you want to do an overview going forward, you can still choose between the Overview A or Overview B. You can pick which one you want to be in. So it's completely up to you. Nothing has to change, and you shouldn't try to figure it out on your own. Come see one of us. Now, there are some changes to course numbers, and if you're confused about that, I just wanted to take a second and kind of run through all of that stuff. So FTVP 11, 12, 13, and 1400 are going to change a little bit. I just realized that you can't see what it says down here, but I'll definitely put these documents up in the connections pages so you can have them. But FTVP 1100 Produce and Direct is going to now be FTVP 2100 Produce and Direct. FTVP 1200 Camera and Light is going to be 2200 Camera and Light. And FTVP 1300 Edit and Color is going to be 2300 Edit and Color. And what this says basically is FTVP 1400 Graphics and Effects remains FTVP 1400 Graphics and Effects. At the 2000 level, advanced producing is going away. We're not going to have that class anymore. If you want to produce, we have production management classes, we have story lab, and there are opportunities for you to do producing tasks in other classes. I didn't mention it, but producing is also a task that you would want to pursue the production house capstone A track if you were interested in that. Advanced directing is going to become 3120 advanced directing. 2200 advanced camera and light is going to become 3210 advanced cinematography, and 2300 advanced edit and color is going to become 3210 advanced edit and color. And again, I'll put these documents up so you can get them elsewhere. Other courses that are changing. You've got your narrative filmmaking class. Instead of narrative, you will now take FTVP 3000 Story Lab. Professional development class is going away, and instead there will be MDST 2500. And the overview is just changing names to Capstone.